Let me experience the freedom. Let's take life more seriously. Life was very much about having fun, pass all the exams and then just have fun. Who am I and what makes me happy? To be a fat man with whiskey and a cigar. I felt so unhappy, crying at my bike, like, why can I not do this? My energy was like, boom. Now everything is possible again. I want to help people. I want to give the energy. I'm gonna write this book. The first time I spoke on stage, they gave me flowers. I cried for hours. I found my purpose, publishing my book. I don't want you to change people's lives. I was living my dream because I don't believe that my life or life in general is about having an office job. Because if everything is open, everything is possible. So I had to travel by myself, taking my diary, taking my pencil. Sometimes you have an experience that you truly feel like this is it. When you inspire others, you always keep your own challenges and you have your own insecurities. Now ex-boyfriend start to talk about ayahuasca. Something opened up inside myself. Curiosity.
Welcome to the House of Oneness podcast, where we dig deep into the world of plant medicine to help you in your spiritual and personal growth. Our host of this podcast has traveled the world to learn from different shamans, maestros, and other spiritual leaders. She has many years of experience with plant medicine ceremonies. Here is your host, Maria Johanna.
Doing an internship abroad let me experience the freedom, living on my own, and I felt like, okay, after this I need to live in Amsterdam. It was calling me, and I was the only one of my friends from this small village that had this calling to go to Amsterdam, and it was a very important decision to go there. So going to Amsterdam, I thought like, let's take life more seriously and let's take more responsibility over my life. I started the education, it's called commercial economics. It was all about marketing. And again, life was very much about having fun because to me, Amsterdam is almost like an amusement park. I was like always going out. But on the other hand, I was very serious in my career next to my study. I started working in banking, and banking, it was very serious. We got a lot of training, education about asset management, so the stock market. I learned so much from that, and I wanted to learn about that because also my father was investing in the stock market. And I thought, I want to know what my father is doing. I want to know about economical world, how does it work? And that has been also very, very important to me to work there because it also let me realize how the structure in power works. That's another story. So this school period, it was 4 years education. To me it was like partying, having fun. I was serious with my the job next to my school. And I just had a few weeks that I was studying because I didn't want to fail any exams. I was very practical. Okay, let's focus for a while and let's pass all the exams and then just have fun again. And it went really, really well. And then at the end of my education, I start to think about my future. I start to question, who am I? And what makes me happy? Because is an office job my purpose? I started to do workshops and some education, self-education about NLP. I started to follow certain speakers on YouTube, and I saw, starting my career, that there was a difference in my feelings and my thoughts. And because I did already some research, courses, self-study of what gives me energy, what are my qualities, where are my weaknesses. I knew myself quite, a bit more than other people from my class. Like I was quite serious in this area of getting to know myself. And it was very easy to get a job here, to get a job there. And I still couldn't feel it. Like, why don't I feel this? Am I strange? And it seems like all the opportunities are around me. But what is it? And the job that I chose after my study, first I tried to work in the financial system. But when I started to work there, I started to see the system. And I saw it was such a man world. Each time I went into this company, which was like a private banking for people who are rich, it was as if like all the coats fell off my shoulders. Like my feminine coats, like one coat fell off and another one and another one. And I had to act like a man. And it was so not authentic. It is as if they would train me to be a fat man with whiskey and a cigar. And I'm the opposite. Like, give me a water or a healthy juice. And I like to be slim, like, and feminine. And they didn't give me this freedom to be who I am and to treat the customers the way I would treat them. I felt so unhappy, and I remember cycling home through Amsterdam, through the Vondelpark, crying at my bike. Like I felt I just started my career and I'm failing, and I feel so ashamed. And why can I not do this? But I couldn't be myself. And this office job. So this job, it was just, I guess not even 2 months that I quit. And then I thought marketing is my education, and I went just for drinks in Amsterdam, network drinks, here and there, and having fun. And everywhere at the drinks, they offered me a job here and there, big companies, and it was so easy. And I never wrote on all these interviews, I never wrote a letter. It was all by just being myself. And still I thought, I don't feel it. So they were all job offerings. I had 4 or 5. Then I went into the supermarket and I stand in a queue. It was too long. And a guy started to speak with me, and he said, "Oh shit, we have the wrong queue." I said, "You never know if it's the wrong one." And because we were waiting so long, we started talking. And then when I left the supermarket, he thought, hey. So he said, hey, come back. Maybe you could work in my company because I have an online marketing agency. And that was the job I chose. Like at the same day, we went into a terrace, we spoke. It was such a nice energy, and I thought, yes, let's start there. And it was just 200 meters walking distance from my house. And very soon I also was bored there. Then I started to work at another company, and there I was also bored very soon. I felt like, oh my god, these office jobs, it's not the thing. And next to my office job, I started to do other educations. So I have other diplomas from my NLP practitioner, NLP master, and it's all about personal development, if you don't know what it is. And then, because I was bored in a way, and also I thought like, I started to talk to God, and also realizing that I've always done that without being so aware. But in this office job, sometimes I went to the toilet with tears in my eyes. I thought, God, if you exist in a way, like I was not spiritual at all, but I started to pray, please show me what life is about, what my life is about, because I don't believe that my life or life in general is about having an office job and making the money. Like, what fulfillment is this giving to my heart, to me? Like, I would say 0, or not 0, but not what I was longing for. Then while I was working in this company, there came a day that we all got fired. And what happened to me, the moment we all got fired, it was a very serious moment with everyone in a room and everyone was tensed, and because we felt it coming, of course. And the moment I heard that I got fired, my energy was like boom. I felt so good. And this is interesting in life. Sometimes you're afraid, for example, to lose your job, or you're afraid to lose your job, or afraid to let go of anything else. But those things can free you. They open up possibilities, because if everything is open, everything is possible. And I felt like, yes, now everything is possible again. And my parents, they like safety. I think most parents, they like safety for their children. So I thought, let's go to this network events again. And so I can get a job here and there and here and there. It's like, okay, I know I can get a job. So I could tell my parents, okay, can get a job. And I told them I want to go travel. And they thought like, yeah, don't go by yourself. But they also know me. If I have something in my mind, nobody can stop me. So actually, I post on Facebook. I remember then Facebook was popular. I post like, who wants to travel with me? But I already saw the tickets that I wanted to book. So a few hours later, after my post, I already booked the tickets. And I decided to travel on my own. And this traveling for me was to discover what I truly wanted. So I had to travel by myself, taking my diary, taking my pencil, and then by asking myself questions. And because I did a lot of things in personal development, I knew how to ask the questions to myself. So this journey was a turnaround in my life. It was in Thailand. And I've been writing and writing and reflecting. And I found out that I wanted to be an author, to bring a message into the world. And I was 25 back then. And I thought, who am I to bring this message? Like, I'm so young. Who will listen to my message since I'm so young? I was so afraid. But at the same time, I felt so much motivation and power. And I felt I have the energy. And when I came back from the journey, I went back to a diary from earlier. And the first things that I was writing in this diary is like, I want to help people. I want to give the energy to let them be themselves and let them find themselves. But even at that point, I didn't find myself. But still, I wrote it down. And that led me also to make a vision board. So my house, I was living in my house in Amsterdam, and I was making a vision board. And in the middle of the vision board, I visualized a very strong woman with a feather of writing and with a heart. And by this, all the coincidences that are no coincidences happened. And it led me to truly make the decision, like, I'm gonna write this book. I'm gonna take the time off and focus on making my own coaching model, writing my story, and to help people from my age, so in their quarter life crisis, young professionals to find the way to their hearts. And I had such a tremendous motivation and focus that very soon my book was finished. And then I realized, like, writing a book, what an individual journey. And I thought, okay, and now I have this model, I have to bring this into the world. So let's go on stage and let's speak about this. I made an invitation for my first seminar, I rented a really nice place in the city center of Amsterdam on the canals to speak about my message, to speak about my book, to share my model and to help other people. So this initiative, I thought like, oh, maybe 20 people will come. But then 110 people came, and I never spoke in front of an audience before. And I was shocked and I was afraid. And I thought, oh, now I want to cancel. But everyone already subscribed. But it was not like the location was too small. Like, oh shit. I need to arrange something differently. So then I did it very professionally. The first time I spoke on stage. And sometimes you have an experience that you truly feel like this is it. So I was speaking on stage. There were 110 people in the room. And I did it with so much fun and I felt so good. And afterwards I got such a huge applause that I was so surprised, and people came to me, they gave me flowers, they gave thanks, they shared their testimonial on camera, but I was not even thinking about it and I was so overwhelmed. I remember that night, the moment I was home, I started to cry and I cried for hours. I couldn't stop crying. And the next morning I even woke up with thick eyes, and then my neighbor in Amsterdam, he made pictures and he was ringing my bell to share the pictures of me on stage and of the audience who were also so happy. And I just opened the door with thick eyes because of my crying, and I had to cry again because he came to me and it was so touching. And to me it was as if I was crying for my soul, because I had purpose, I was meaningful, I was adding value to people's lives, and this is what I felt like, this is my purpose, this is what I want. The office job or the normal pathways that is an unwritten rule, it's not for me, but this is it. So by speaking on stage and writing my book, I found my purpose. And then when you write a book, it takes a while before you can publish it. The moment came that I was publishing my book. And yeah, when you are about to make a big decision, for example, publishing my book, I start to hesitate, like, who wants to read this book? Shall I publish it? But of course I did. And then I thought, shall I do a party with publishing my book? And I was hesitating, but I did. And all the things were very successful. And also when I was speaking, for example, on a career event, on companies, on my own seminars, everything was successful. It's successful in the way that it was changing people's lives. But even when you're like an example or when you inspire others, you always keep your own challenges and you have your own insecurities. And it's very, very interesting, because the moment I published my book, and it's called Quarter Life Challenge, this is where my own quarter life challenge was like the strongest. Because another conflict with my father, he wanted me to be normal. And I think we all have challenges, or like many people have challenges with their parents, because we are reflecting them and they reflect us. So I'm the one who looks the most like my father. I'm in a way the female version of my father. And he is different and I'm also different. But he thought for his daughters, all three, but also especially for me, he thought, let's walk the safe path and just be like everyone else. Make a career, you did your education, walk this path. But I couldn't. So the same struggle, but then on this career path. And also, like, I did not really know how to do all these things, like making my book big, go out there. I was also insecure, and I did not really have someone next to me who was supporting me, so I got the opposite. My father was giving me the opposite of support. He wanted me to stop all this, in his eyes, bullshit. And he thought my book was boring, and he said, I don't want you to change people's lives. Let them be in their comfort zone. But I thought, let's take them out of their comfort zone. And he said, yeah, some people wrote your book and now they are changing this and that. And that was exactly my goal. But I had a struggle with him. And that also opened up the other trauma, I guess, now looking back. And I felt so alone and so different because the people from my age and my friends were not that serious as I was in this personal development about finding out what is the purpose in life. Luckily, I had then another relationship with someone who was also very much into this. And he was from Brazil. And yeah, he was my supporter. So I came into a relationship with him when I just was about to publish my book. And that was where I was looking forward to, that finally the workshops that I was giving, the lectures, the trainings in companies, now I also could sell my book with it. But very soon after, because I had even a bigger crisis while I was playing the example, I was praying again to the universe like, God, how is it possible that even while I am living my dream, so I was living my dream with also publishing my book and helping other people, something was missing. And I was also having a boyfriend, so it was not something outside myself. And I also start to feel like, what is missing? I feel incomplete, but how is this possible? Well, I follow my heart, but you have the mind, you have the heart, and you have the soul. And when you don't go on this soul searching, you will never find this feeling of being whole and being complete. Only back then I did not know that. And yes, I start to ask like, please God, show me what is it that I'm missing? Because it was almost as if I was missing like arms that were holding me, but there were no arms outside myself. And it was a feeling of a bit like loneliness, incomplete. And then my now ex-boyfriend started to talk about ayahuasca, a medicine from the Amazons that opens up your consciousness and takes you on an inner journey. And when he spoke about that, something opened up inside myself. Curiosity, like, wow, I want to do that as soon as possible. Just trusted on my feeling, and then the ceremony started. I was very happy. I felt nervous and at the same time so sure, like this is what I want to do. My own individual journey. Give me the holy medicine. Connect with your heart. The portal opened up from my heart, and it was just the most beautiful thing I ever experienced in my life. The spirit carries you on your journey, and there you find yourself. Can I walk? Can I walk? I'm not sure if I can walk. Do it 3 times. Or the whole life on earth, like it meant nothing anymore. This is who I am. It was like a rebirth. After this ceremony, I could never look at life the same way again.
Thanks for listening. Check out our website, houseofoneness.com, for more information about plant medicine, microdosing, and ceremonies. Or find Maria Johanna at Instagram. Check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, keep following that inner voice.